Okay, guys, time to get started. Dr.Stone Chunk 3, chapters 16 through 24. After this, I will be caught up, and hopefully I can get that chapter review out before the next chapter, in the future comes out. Now, it starts off with Senku leaving the group to search after the other fire that was signaled. And as he does that, since Tsukasa thinks he's killed Senku, he goes back to search for the others and bring them back. And as he does that, he runs into a cave girl, which actually gives him trouble, which was surprising. But he did ultimately beat her and pinned her under a tree. And later, Senku went to go check it out and see what happened. And he sees the cave girl under the tree, and he helps her and, kind of saves her, basically. And we learn that her name is, what was her name? Kohaku. And Kohaku, I like her as, I'll just say right now, she's a more interesting female character than, I can't even remember her name right now, but you know who I'm talking about, the love interest for Tai. She is definitely more interesting in every way, which is nice. And she brings him back to his village. To her village. Once they get there, they do a kind of, I guess, risky thing, which they have a 2-page spread of 40 characters, and these are the 40 people that live in the village. Now, I thought it was kind of cool that they did that, but they kind of just unloaded them on us all at once, instead of us, getting to know them. But I'm kind of indifferent either way. It was both a kind of good and bad thing. Now, we learned that they don't allow outsiders, and of course this is a problem for Senku. So, after that, she introduces Senku to Chrome. Now, Chrome is he's basically a prehistoric scientist, where he's collected a lot of materials. He is exceptionally smarter than some of the other villagers. He's probably the smartest in the village. And he thinks he's doing, magic, which, of course, that's what we thought we did back then when we were doing different kinds of science. We thought it was basically magic. And, of course, Senku comes in and basically stomps all over him. He is literally thousands of times smarter than he is, but he knows that he's going to be important, and he needs to use all his stocks that he's collected over the years, and he will teach him and, basically become his assistant, which is a nice thing to have. And then we also learn that Chrome is in love with the priestess that they have and wants to give a cure to her, and Senku's thinking, oh yeah, if I make a cure for the priestess, then they're gonna let me into the village and they're gonna trust me. So now their main mission is to basically get antibodies, and they do this really nice 2-page spread of basically I guess you could call it kind of like a skill tree in video games of what they need to get to accomplish making antibodies. Or, you know what I mean. And then we also learned that the priestess somehow knows past stories from the past from Senku's era, and he's like, if these people broke out of the stones a while ago, how can they do this? So fast forward a little bit, and their main mission right now is to produce iron, and they can't do that currently. We then learn of a flagship character named Suka. Now, Suka, I like the design of her, or I can't remember. I'm pretty sure it is a girl, and she wears basically a melon on her head with a bandage over the cracked part, which is kind of funny. I really like it. And Senku, to make the villagers help him, he basically makes ramen in the new era, and of course they think it's delicious. It's like the best thing they have ever tasted. And it does get a few of the villagers on his side. I think it gets like 4 or 5 of them on his side, which is really good. And while this is happening, they discover a spy from Tsukasa that was sent out to make sure Senku was dead, to go look at like other villages, because he knew there were other ones since since Kohaku fought him. And he does find out about Senku, of course, but he says that he's basically on whoever side he thinks is going to win. And right now, he does think that Senku is not going to win, but they kind of keep him hostage there. And we learned that he is a mentalist, which he knows how to basically manipulate people's psychology and make them believe he's right, or, you know, things like that. And he is a magician, which is pretty useful traits if you're trying to win a war, I guess. And the chapter 24 leaves off with them discovering lightning. Well, not discovering, I mean them making the iron bar that they made into a magnet using lightning, and using one of the characters golden spears, which was kind of funny. And that's better. I thought these group of chapters were actually pretty solid. There was no bad chapter that I could think of. There was a lot of good stuff, and I really liked it. And I'm kind of looking forward to reviewing the newest chapter. So I may have that somewhere around here, or in the cards or something. But that's about it. If you guys have any questions for me, I'd love to know. So yeah, that's about it. Bye, guys.